So for today's project, we got a high pressure fire pump, ETQ power. So this is one of those engines that I got in the lot. Basically, like the previous video, the generator I did, I got like 7 different small engines between pressure washers and a bunch of other things. There was someone who had died and they were cleaning out the property, and a lot of this stuff still has the original tags on it. It's just been sitting, so it was used once or not used at all. I mean, look at this thing. It's still got the original manual on it, and it was hooked up right there. So I don't even think this thing was used. It might have been started once, but it's clean. I mean, for not being used that much, it's dirty, obviously, because it's sat, but see if we can fix it. So some of the other things I got were this 13 horsepower pressure washer. Again, they just gave it away. It's all going to be the same thing: dirty gas, bad carb, cleaned out, get it ready, fix it, and sell it. It's also missing a peg, so it's not sitting right, but that should be a pretty easy fix. There's some crap up in here. I'm just gonna blow it off real quick. I don't know if you can hear that. It's hissing. Means it's leaking air somewhere. Either this is bad or something inside. So let's see. From the tape. So that's a quick fix. I'll show you how to fix it real quick. Alright, so I'm gonna take this guy off. I don't even know how tight it is. It's probably one of the problems. I guess it's somewhat tight. Get this adjustable on here. These are the quick connect fittings, by the way. You should use them. They're really easy to connect tools to. Take this guy off. As you can see, there was no tape in there. There's barely any tape left on this, so we're gonna put some new tape on. Get this old crap off. I always try to keep it straight, so take a little bit like that. Keep it straight. Tear it off. And it already got messed up. That's how this crap works. So then you take your end, put it on the threads like that, and just go around. Try to get it flat again. Go around again. That's it. So it's all wrapped. And you always want to make sure these are tight too. So after you get it hand tight, I just got a pair of channel locks. I'm gonna put on there. Get your wrench. Make sure you grab the nut itself, not the other fitting. Just grab that. We're gonna make sure it's tight. Go a couple times here. I like to tighten these things pretty tight. Prevents them from leaking air like it did. Alright, that's pretty much on there. Go one more. So it is still leaking a little bit. Not as bad as it was. This fitting, there's some play in it, so it's probably gonna have to be replaced, but it's not leaking enough to where I'm gonna worry about it right now. But I will replace this fitting at some point, but it's not leaking from here anymore. So let's clean it up. So real quick, show you guys. So I don't know if you can see in there, but it's empty. I don't think this thing was ever ran. It might have been once, but there's no rust. So that's I'm gonna have to clean out. So that alone right there is, I mean, there's a little orange, so there was gas in it, but it's pretty clean, honestly. And I got this thing for free, man. It's freaking nuts. So let's take off the carb. I'm gonna check the oil, see if I need to change it. But first I wanna get this thing running, so let's take the carb off. I was trying to pry this thing off, wasn't paying attention. This was on here, wing nut. It's gotta be secured somehow, right? So let's get that wing nut out of there. I'll pop it loose. There we go. I do this to all the engines. Even if people say they've ran, I still clean the carb anyway and look at the air filter. I just don't want to have to do all this work, change the oil, clean it, and then not have the thing work. So while I have it apart and while it's messy, you might as well just clean the carb. But let's get this thing off. Let's check it out. There we go. Inside looks pretty clean. There's the filter. Look at that. Freaking filter has nothing on it. I mean, nothing. Look at this. That's crazy. Clean as could be. Wow. Alright, let's get back to taking the rest of it off. Look at this. I mean, really doesn't look bad at all. Almost like it's brand new. It's crazy. So that was a little rusty. I'm gonna spray some WD-40 on there. See if we can't work it. Get this handle to move a little freer. Worst case, I can take this off and throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner. Get some of that rust off. It's freeing up now. That's better. Alright, let's get back to taking the carb off. There we go. Okay, finally fixed this stupid camera. It was blurry. I'm trying to get this fuel hose out of the back. It's so tight in here. I don't know why they did it, but I almost got it. Just taking a flathead. There we go. Got it. Man, they really didn't want you to take this thing off. Trying to get this out. So these guys turn like that. To get them out, there's a little slit up top. So you turn it this way, and then the rod should come right out like that. And we're gonna take this guy off. So we can look at this guy real quick. I'm gonna start by taking this stuff off. Take the plugs out first. I doubt there's gas in here. If I'm wrong, then I'm screwed. But hopefully I'm not wrong. Oh, there's gas. Damn it. Shoot. Need to get a bowl. Oh, a little bit. And there it comes. Wow. Maybe I didn't need to take this thing apart. Check this out. That's crazy. Is the float stuck on like the last one where I broke it? Let's check it out. I'm gonna clean it anyway since I have it apart. See what we got going on here. Oh, look at that. The needle came out like it's supposed to. Man, I don't think this thing was ever used. Just put gas in it. That's incredible. Even the gaskets are barely worn. Alright, so look at this guy. I mean, let's get a close up. Hang on. So this thing is flawless. I mean, look at this. Mind you, I got this for free. These people thought this was junk. I'm like, no way. It's not going to the dump today. Look at that thing. There's barely anything on the inside. There's a little bit from maybe the time you ran it once, if that. But I'm gonna go ahead and just clean it up with some carb clean real quick. Probably should be wearing gloves, but you know what, who cares. And then here's the bowl. Look at that. That's crazy. There's nothing in there. No rust, no anything, no rust in the tank. I think this thing's gonna fly right away. Alright, let me squirt it out real quick. So this stuff's like $7, $8 at the store. If you order it on Amazon, if you're gonna be doing this a lot, I just ordered a case of 6 of them for $30. So I saved, you know, double the money buying them online. Okay, pretty much clean. Might as well do the end of the screw. Alright, now let's blow this crap off. Get this all cleaned up. So here's the throttle. This was the spring I was talking about. You don't want to bend these too much because then it might not run right. It's like a governor and you screw it up. So try to keep these springs somewhat decent. And that's to the throttle directly. This looks pretty clean. This fuel hose was a pain because they put it all the way in the back. Normally they come out around and pop in from the front of the carburetor, but they just want to make things hard on you, so you know, that's cool. No worries. Got it for free. Putting them back together is pretty simple. Make sure that the needle is on. There's needle. So the needle goes in with the float. Right there. Now that that's in, then you take your pin. This holds the float where it's supposed to be. So this goes in the side like that. So you can see that. See the little pin, how I just put it through. Then it goes through the float itself. And then the bowl. So clean the bowl too, you might as well. The bowl goes back on. Sometimes I forget the orientation. So if you think about how it's going to go on, you kind of want this bolt facing out. So that would be correct right there. And then we're going to do the last part, which is the nut we took out. So we're going to screw that on. Remember, this holds the bowl in place. And that O-ring checked out pretty good around the bowl, so that's what it's going to look like when it's done. And then just give it a quick crank. Make sure it's tight. Of course, it's 10 millimeter, socket everyone loses right there. And then you're good to go. You just rebuilt the carb with gaskets that were fine. So it cost me, maybe $1 a brake clean, 10 minutes of my time. And I'm going to make a couple $100 off this. So let's put it back together. The gaskets are still on here. Now, I always remember which way I put it on, so the throttle goes in first because the throttle's right here. And we did have a hard time putting the throttle on, so let's see if we can do it somewhat easier this time. And boom, look at that, there it is. And then this little spring is always gonna have a hole, so the little hole's right next to it. Throw that guy in there, come on, bingo. And this is where it got tricky. I was trying to get it over this stupid plate, so try to lift it, squeeze it back in there, and it worked. And then I'm not going to do it all the way because I still need to do this fuel hose. You can kind of see it under here. That's where it's going, this little bracket. So try to push this guy back on there. Luckily it's going in pretty freaking easy. And then you get the clip stuck, so then you gotta go back, take it out, and try it again. Alright, there we go, now I got the clip out. I don't even like these stupid little metal clips that hold the pipes on. A lot of times I just replace them with the small zip ties. I think they're a lot easier and they work better. These metal clips wear out over time. We're going to slide the clip down in there. And to show you what I was talking about real quick. If you were to take that out, you just replace it with a zip tie. But I did get it on. And see how it's coming from back here, which is annoying, and going to the front. Or going to the back, I'd rather have it come around the front. Just slides back on there. Slides back on there if you put it on the right way. Trying to teach you guys how to put it on the right way, and yet I'm putting it on the wrong way. Alright. This guy needs to bend over. You can see that. I gotta get this. Oop. Now it'll go through this hole. Oh, this guy too. Maybe I should put it through first, huh? Oh no. There you go. I had to have them both facing straight. Alright, let's get back to it. Hey, look at that. Slides right on. Is that on all the way? It looks like it is. It's not going anywhere. Now time for the air box. We got ETQ 200, engine family 5196, displacement 196 cc, takes 10W30 or whatever oil you put in it. Sometimes I put diesel oil, whatever I got going around. You should listen to what the manufacturer tells you though, of course. Fuel, gasoline, max revs 3600. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool info there. Sticker's still good. Alright, let's put that wing nut back on here. Goes up top, down in this little... All these nozzles are stupid. When you live in California, you don't have any gas tanks with vents, so a lot of times I'll poke a hole, buy the vent online and put them in there, but it's pretty much everywhere now. It's hard to find them with vents. So got gas in there. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing to start. We got on off. We're gonna put it on. See if we can't start this thing. Choke. That's on the other side. That's kind of screwy. Carbs on the other side of the on off. Look at that. Freaking 3 inch. Just like that. Took me what, 30 minutes of work, and I'm gonna make $200 off a free water pump, so that's cool. First pull, I bet, every time. Alright, well, I don't even think I need to take the carburetor off that stupid thing. There's nothing wrong with it. It was barely dirty. Started first pull, thing runs great, idles really nicely. I don't think this guy ever used this thing. The oil's clean, it doesn't smell like gas, so I'm not even going to do that. This just goes to show, for anyone out there wanting to get into this, I mean, I'm 22 years old and I find stuff like this all the time, and I decided to record it to teach other people how to do it because it's a great way to make money. And I definitely lucked out. I got those 7 things. This was one of them for free, so that's pretty crazy. But I'm gonna clean it up now. In total, this will probably take me an hour of my time on a Saturday. And I do this all the time, so it's a nice little fun side thing you can do. Most of these small engines don't have really any issues besides fuel and air. It's very unlikely that they don't have spark or anything like that unless the wires are jacked up or it's been sitting for way too long and it's really old. But let's clean this thing up. Oh yeah, it's all caked on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the degreaser I was talking about. I love this stuff. So give it a little shake, and we're gonna spray it all over this thing, and then go wash it with the hose, dry it off, and be good to go. So let's clean this thing.
Great stuff about this too. Let it sit for like 5 minutes. It really eats away, you know, a lot of that crap. Simple green works too. I love simple green. I even got some over here.
Before I go use it with the hose, I'm just gonna scrape some of this off. Get it agitated, it'll come off easier. Look at that. Add lube oil. Oh man, look at this. This is crazy. I don't think this guy ever used this thing. Look at this. Right here. It's upside down, but it says add lube oil. It's letting you know to add oil. That's crazy. Wish I had some side jobs that needed some water removal, man. I'd keep this thing, but I don't get those very often where we're at because we never get any rain, so I think I'm just gonna sell it. But I am gonna keep that pressure washer I'm working on. And don't be afraid with these. The only electrical on here really is a kill switch. So, I mean, you can douse these things and get them wet. They're gonna run, these small engines. There's, you know, the only electrical is the spark plug wire and the kill switch pretty much, so you're pretty safe cleaning this off like I am. Okay, I'm gonna go hit this with the hose. I'll be right back. Alright, so fired it up. I put the hose down here in the bottom and water came out. So I had good pressure. You know, the higher the RPMs got, the more water came out. That was good. That's hot. I just touched it. I just touched it again. It was smoking like crazy. Sometimes they'll clear themselves out, but I'm not looking to run this thing for too long. I just kind of want to fix it, you know, like I did, clean it up, sell it. So I'm gonna take this off real quick and clean the muffler. I'm a numbers guy, so I pay attention to the time it's taking me to do this in the video and all this stuff. And I really don't see the need to do that. You know, I don't see the need to check spark. I do see the need to check the oil. I do see the need to take the carb apart no matter what, because I can do it in a timely manner. But then I fire the thing up, and if it doesn't fire, then yes, I'll take the spark plug off and check for spark and all that stuff. But 9 times out of 10, in my experience with the hundreds of engines I've done so far, they're fine. They fire right up. So just keep that in mind. Look at that. This gas cap, it's ugly. So we're gonna fix this real quick. Look at that. New gas cap. Now that looks a lot better than the other one did. Minus all the crap. Sweet. Let that dry, put it back together, and we'll be good to go.